Do you have enough time to do a 10-minute workout? Well, I just set my alarm 10 minutes from now. Let's get it.
Start having back surgery, start having knee surgeries. You're not the same player that you once were.
Start making too many jumping and pushing and pulling cars.
10-minute workout, 10 squats.
And maybe your back goes because you're making internet videos, not because you're playing football.
Well, I think he trains smart. I think he trains smarter now.
I hope so. You finished?
Yep, finished.
Thank you. My turn. My biggest takeaway was in the very end of what was one of the wildest Monday night games we've ever seen, and it was a great way to kick off Monday Night Football this year. Drew Brees and then Will Lutz saved the National Football League from yet another refereeing nightmare in New Orleans, because it had nightmare written all over it, because the NFL, Al Rivron, after the game, acknowledged that at the end of the first half, the refs cost New Orleans 15 crucial seconds. They just misplayed the clock, mishandled.
What is it about New Orleans?
I don't know.
Right.
Something. And that forced Will Lutz to try a field goal from 56 yards that he missed. Obviously, if you give Drew Brees, we saw what he did at the end of the game, if you give him 15 more seconds, I don't know, maybe he scores a touchdown. I don't know what could happen, or maybe it's a chip shot.
Right.
Field goal
He's going
to
to
Will
get
Lutz.
closer to what he was.
You would certainly think that. And then at the very end of the game, after, to your point, Deshaun Watson made two of the clutchest throws you will ever see. And that was 38 yards to DeAndre Hopkins, and I don't even know, he pulled it off against double coverage. You want to talk about a rail shot? It was just such a great throw, improbably against all odds, and it was a great catch by, that guy.
He's phenomenal.
He is phenomenal. And then, as you point out, the 37-yarder to Kenny Stills that they just acquired, and Deshaun took a shot. They were blitzing him. He took a blindside blitz from Von Bell right in the back and got rid of that ball. But those are two of the best clutch throws, like bang, bang, to just go the length of the field. It took my breath away, and I'm a big Deshaun fan, as you know, so I'm rooting for him. And then what happens right on schedule? Fairbairn, the kicker, misses the extra point. But a kid from New Orleans who, I don't know, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I don't know, but he falls across Fairbairn's foot, and he gets called for roughing the kicker. And I was stunned, because I got to tell you, I would not have thrown that flag. I thought that was no more than incidental contact exaggerated by the kicker. And it was excusable incidental contact that should not have been flagged, because it's going to change. It's going to win or lose the game at that point.
The Cowboy looked like a kicker. The kicker looked like a cowboy in the West, and the way they shot him. Look at him fall on the ground like, oh, they got me.
Oh, I thought
it's so dramatic.
No.
So did I.
You're a real cowboy in the West.
He goes down hard, though.
I'm not throwing that flag, and I think a whole lot of Saints fans, many of whom came in referees' jerseys, just to protest what happened last year, they probably thought the same thing that I was thinking, like, why did you throw that? And obviously they didn't throw the flag on Nickel Roby-Coleman last year in the NFC Championship game on Tommy Lee, Lewis. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so that was the controversy. It looked like it had reared its ugly head at that point. And then, of course, here came Drew Brees, and there went Romeo Crennel. And I love Romeo, another chip off the Belichick block, though those chips don't always do very well, do they?
Yeah, but the block got Brady up there.
Yeah.
They just got chips.
That is correct. Well said. I agree. So here came Romeo's dreaded prevent defense. And the reason I think he fell back into the prevent, you mentioned Ted Ginn Jr., but on the previous New Orleans series, they'd been backed up 3rd and 2 at their 15. If we could see this play, this is look like the first backbreaker for the Texans. Drew Brees is backed up, and he throws first the audibles, and then he just lets it fly for Ted Ginn, because they were playing coverage. Everybody was up playing man at the ball, because it's 3rd and 2.
Right.
And so because of that play that set up what looked like was going to be the winning field goal, and then Deshaun happened, boom, boom. But because of that, Romeo says, it's Drew Brees, and he does have a lot of deep speed. Let's play prevent. And what does Drew do? He goes boom, boom, boom. And all he needed was a 12 and a 15 and a 12.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Will Lutz, who just got his money in the offseason, and he's a fine young kicker who seems like he's got his head screwed on
But
straight.
Skip, I don't know if anybody thought, with the exception of, because in warm-up, the kicker goes out, and special teams coach is watching him, and he'll go tell the head coach, he's good from about 55 in this direction, he's a good from about 57, 58 in that direction. Now, prior to last night, I didn't know he had that kind of leg.
I did. No, he's got a big leg.
That would have been, Skip, that would have been good from about 63, 64.
He's got a Justin Tucker kind of leg.
And I think what's also, this was indoors, Skip, but I think something that's going unnoticed is that you're no longer allowed to line up head up of the center. So now guys are driving the ball because there is not that guy right there to be able to get that immediate pressure. If you look the way he kicked that ball didn't have a whole lot of trajectory. He knows he can drive it now. But Drew, with Drew, Skip, I don't really know, because we're looking at it like, okay, Romeo is saying, okay, I went with pressure, and you see what he got me. They go down the field in about a minute and a
He's
half.
got 3 deep safeties like 40 yards off the ball.
Right.
And it's like the old Aaron Rodgers play against Dallas in the 2016 playoff game, where my guys are just playing prevent, and it's 3rd and forever, and he throws it to Jared Cook on that deep cross.
Yeah, but Skip, if I'm Romeo, I'm going to play the odds. Do I trust Drew Brees, or do I trust their field goal kicker from this distance? Because if you let Drew Brees, you give him man coverage. He's going to find a guy, and he's going to get the ball down there, and he's probably going to get a touchdown, or it's going to be a chip shot field goal. To say that the guy's going to have to, on opening Monday, he's going to have to kick 58 yards in a walk-off to beat me.
All right. No, I got it. But this is the difference between playing to win at New Orleans against Drew Brees or playing not to lose. And Romeo played not to lose. He's sort of playing the percentages. Like, well, maybe Drew will miss one of the passes, and maybe Lutz can't make it from 58. Maybe he could make it from 54, but he can't make it. And by the way, to your credit, he did miss from 56 at the end of the half, so maybe you think 58. But, boy, he's pumped up, end of game. Crowd is going to carry the football through the uprights.
But there's pressure also, because there is no, okay, if I miss this, there's 2 minutes left, we can possibly get the ball back. This is it. Once that ball hits his foot, it's over. Time is going to expire, and you either winning or you losing the game. Yep. That's a lot of pressure. Now, we've seen kickers, like you just saw the Texans kicker just missed the PAT. They didn't run into it. We got a tie ball game. Now Drew Brees gets to take his time and go down the field, and a field goal wins the game in a tie situation. But now they needed a field goal to win the game. Skip, I get what Romeo was trying to do. I did not believe this kicker I didn't know he had this kind of leg, but I'd have played it just like this. I'm saying, look, don't give them out any, because I'm thinking, Skip, they're going to try to, the reasons why I'm saying, don't let them get out of bounds. They got one timeout, but it's only 6 seconds. So I'm like, if you want to throw the ball in the middle of the field, have at it, Drew. But if you're going to play off, you can't play 10 yards because he's just going to turn around and run a stop route.
There has to be some middle ground where you play some defense that gives you credible coverage at 15 yards. Because if he's going to get you 3 straight 15-yarders, you're going to get into the danger zone.
It was the last one.
That's not the alarm.
The slot guy,
not yet.
He was playing that far off. Because all they need, he's like, okay, let me just get under 60.
Yeah.
Play 4 yards. Split the difference. Don't play your...
Okay.
But it's hindsight, Skip. It's second guess.
Back to your first point. Again, I'm a huge Deshaun fan, and I tweeted twice at the end of the game. First I said, Deshaun deserves to win this game, and then as soon as the field goal went through, I tweeted it in past tense. Deshaun deserved to win this game. And that tweet on the internet, it just exploded, which shocked me because I think there are a lot of people out there who are with us on this, that as much as you respect Drew Brees and as much as you want the Saints to get something right from the referees, to get the right side of a referee.
They want restitution.
Yeah, they do. But in the end, there's no tougher quarterback in the National Football League, mentally or physically, than Deshaun Watson. And he's starting to turn into, right before your very eyes, a hard luck loser because it seems like he just battles his butt off every game. And he had a better QBR than Drew Brees. He was 90 to 74, which is highly impressive. So he can't play much better than he played.
No.
and he walks off a loser. And it was hard for me to watch him on the sideline. He was looking away from the Lutz field goal,
Right.
like just waiting, listening for the crowd to react. Because they'll tell you in your ear what
Exactly.
happened. And I'm sure it just tore his heart out that he played so hard. And to your point, 62 last year, 6 last night, and 11 quarterback hits last night. And yet he inflicts some of it on himself because on 4th and 1 from the 21? Yeah, 4th and 1 from the 21, he just takes off and just hurdles into the end zone and flips on his back, and he was going in the tent, and I'm sure he's got deep bruises all through
You know,
his lower
Skip,
Ah.
I think the biggest misconception is that he's so mobile.
Time's up.
But the mobile quarterbacks are some of the most sacked quarterbacks because while they're running themselves out of harm's way on the backside, they run themselves
hold on, I
in
gotta
trouble on
pop
the front
back in.
side. You look at Randall Cunningham, Michael Vick,
Yep.
Cam Newton.
You got time to work out. Trust me. Always do.